Hey everyone, welcome to another Gwarzalez Magic. Really interested in playing this Tezzfinity list again. I've been playing with this deck a lot lately, and I love it. It is so much fun to play Tezzeret Agent of Bolus. Not too many changes from last time, I don't think, but we'll go over it again just to be safe. For each of Ancient Den, Seed the Synod, Volta Whispers, that's where all of our colored mana. We're playing basically an Esper build, so that generates all the colored mana we need. 2 Ancient Tombs to get things started. I have had some games where I've never drawn to the colored sources I need, and that's unfortunate, but that's a risky run, I suppose, by not playing duels. 3 Memnites, 4 Mox Opals, 4 Ornithopters, sort of a standard affinity package there to help us enable our explosive draws, and mostly to have equipment carriers in this deck. 4 Springleaf Drums helps a lot with fixing. Can become a 5/5 later in the game with Tezzeret. And like I said in my previous video about this deck, essentially the Modern Affinity shell, but allows you to mid-range a little bit better because of the fast mana and the Tezzeret. So there are some very explosive starts to the deck, but in the middle of the game you can still win by top decking a Tezzeret, or Cranial, or Jite, or really any of our power cards. 4 Arcbound, 3 Cranial. And the reason I'm only running the 3 Cranials is because I have been really digging this Miser Jite in the deck. It has pulled me out of some very sticky situations against other creature decks, and it's just very solid. I've been liking it a lot. 2 Stoneforge Mystics to tutor up our Cranials and Jites. 4 Vault Scourges as an equipment carrier who can give us some lifelink. 4 Etched Champions. 4 Frogmites. Frogmite is actually a card I've been boarding out a lot. Normally when I'm bringing cards in, I tend to board out like all 4 Frogmites and a Thoughtcast. Frogmite I've found is very good game 1, but game 2 and 3, we want some more interactive cards like Phyrexian Revoker and Ethersworn Canonist. Just some more general hate cards. Frogmite is fine. He's great when he's free, but spending the 2 mana on the Revoker and the Canonist can just, those cards can just win games. Phyrexian Revoker named Deathrite Shaman is one of my favorites currently. 3 Tezzeret Agent of Bolus, the namesake of the deck, quite a powerhouse. Now there is an actual Tezzerator deck, which I'm also kind of interested in building, and it's like an artifact combo-y deck, and it just looks like a lot of fun. But that's not this deck. This deck is Affinity that is able to run Tezzeret due to the inclusion of the artifact lands. And then finally, 4 Thoughtcast. And much like in Modern, I'm not really sure how I feel about Thoughtcast. Out of a lot of the games I've played, I've actually kind of wanted to have swords, maybe Swords of Plowshares. Like, this deck has no removal outside of the Jite, really, in the main, and even in the board it's a little tough. We only have 2 parishes, and Manriki Gusari, if you can even consider that a removal spell. So not 100% sold on the Thoughtcasts. I would definitely be interested in playing around with Force. Not Force, Swords. So, I don't know, we'll see how it does today. Maybe the next one, I'll try that out. Into the board, 2 Grafdigger's Cages to help against those pesky graveyard decks. 2 Spell Pierces. I cut the Unified Willows and I'm playing Spell Pierce instead. I think that the 1 mana is relevant against the cards we want to counter. And most of the time I want to counter non-creature spells anyway. So I think I'm going to try the Spell Pierce today. 2 Thoughtseizes for a combo, 1 Manriki Gusari against equipment-based decks, so we can get rid of Batterskulls and opposing Jites, and again tutor them with our Stoneforge. 3 Phyrexian Revokers, just a great card to have in this deck. Have been thinking about using Pithing Needle instead. A Pithing Needle costs 1 less, but is non-equipment carrier, so there are some trade-offs there. 3 Ethersworn Canonist against decks that want to play a lot of spells. And finally, the 2 Parishes, which are really good at getting rid of Nimble Mongoose, Deathrite Shaman, and Tarmogoyf. So that's our list for today. We'll see how it does. Like I said, I've been having a lot of fun playing the deck. I just think it's very sweet, and I do like it a little bit more than the straight colorless build right now, just because it has some better reach. But this deck is considered very budget for Legacy. There's no fetches, there's no forces, there's no duels. So if you're interested in getting a Legacy, I think that this deck, really the most expensive card in this deck is Arcbound, because I think Arcbound is like $8 online. Or no, I guess Tezzeret's more like $15. But cards like Stoneforge Mystic in GTA, well, I guess Mox Opal's kind of expensive, but, you know, cards that are expensive in real life, like Stoneforge and GTA, are only, you know, 5 tickets. So give it a spin if you're interested in playing Affinity and Legacy. And I'm going to start this deck tech now, and we will go into some games. All right, here we are in our first game. We're going to be on the draw. This hand is interesting. I'm going to keep it because of Ancient Tomb, and hopefully we'll draw into like a Mox Opal or something, and my opponent's mulliganing. So I feel pretty safe keeping this. We're going to turn 1, Ornithopter, Ancient Tomb. Okay, Sensei's Divining Top in green. Not sure what this is, although there are green miracles, so could be something like that. Arcbound is good, in fact, and that makes me want to go ahead and play him over the Cranial. I like to cast Cranial the turn I can equip it. This just adds some pressure to the board here. So next turn, not able to play Cranial and Frogmite next turn unless I draw another artifact, unfortunately. And if I draw like a Mox Opal, I think I'm going to want to go ahead and play the Cranial, or the Etched maybe. Probably the Cranial. Playing against an unknown here. I've gotten a little bit better at Legacy and predicting what decks people are going to play, but Forest Top is a new one on me. Some of you may be at home screaming, well, it's obviously this. And getting a Tropical, so some sort of blue-green deck that also plays Top, so going to be good to bring in the Revokers and naming Top. Opponent tanking here. And this looks like a passing of the turn, and let's see what I draw. Another Etched Champion, not great. So my opponent could have a Daze or a Force. Probably a Daze. I think he would have forced the Arcbound if given the opportunity. But let's make him use it if he has it. I'm actually going to go ahead and attack first, I think. And we're going to play the Cranial. And that way we can play the Frogmite and equip the Cranial next turn, if we don't draw into another land. I would love to draw into a blue and a black source though, so I can play this Tezzeret. And if this gets dazed, well, my opponent can still top, I suppose, because he can just return an island to his hand. But did not get dazed. I like that. My opponent is topping again. It has not yet played any island. Spinning the top again. Probably maybe going to draw, looking to draw a card here off the top. Come on. Well, Ornithopter, not the end of the world. So I can play the Ornithopter, play the Frogmite for free, equip the Cranial. Doesn't seem bad. Let's go ahead and stick it on our Ornithopter and attack my opponent for 6. Not going to sacrifice the other Ornithopter, no real reason to. Just an additional point of damage. Don't really need it. May get to that though, since my opponent's at 13, which is a bit of an awkward number. Crop rotation. Okay, so is this some kind of lands deck? If he goes and gets like Tabernacle here, I guess I'm going all in on the Arcbound. Okay, Cloud Post. Oh, okay. Yeah. I am familiar with 12 Post. If that is indeed what this is, I don't know. I have no idea. I had no idea. But I do know about 12 Post. Whether or not that is what our opponent is actually on remains to be seen. Although Cavern here makes me think Primeval Titan is coming, so I think 12 Post is probably a good pick. Yeah, Giant, definitely. Can he do it? I don't think he can do it this turn. Okay, Oracle Moldiah. Summoner's Pact. Yeah, definitely 12 post. Pretty interesting. So I would love to draw some sort of mana source here, and we do. So what does that make me want to do here? Do I want to play my Stoneforge? Like Jite seems like it's going to be too slow. Etched Champion doesn't seem awesome because it can't stop. No, it's going to have to be the Etched so that we can get around Primeval Titan. Attacking our opponent for a lot. Passing the turn. Opponent's going to top. And we win game 1. He had top, I have Ugin. And I actually don't think it's a very good idea to show your opponent what your hand is after the game, because I had no idea I have Ugin, so now I know he has like Eldrazi he wants to get. I mean, and that's just my inexperience with the deck as well, probably. So Revoker seems like it's going to be good. Frogmite was pretty good in that game, but would rather not play it. Perish seems like it will be excellent. So, do I want the Spell Pierce? No, because he's getting the Titan and like Summoner's Pact. Yeah, I don't think that's really going to matter too much. So let's cut. Yeah, see him doing it, cutting the Frogmite and a Thought Cast, and we'll see how this goes. Maybe bringing in the Thought Seizes is correct, but I generally prefer to bring those in on the play, not the draw. This hand is not keepable. It's got way too much mana, and although I can... It's got a lot of mana. It's just not very fast, and only 2 threats, although one of them is Arcbound. I'm going to mulligan it, though. I like this hand much better. This is a turn 1 Revoker on top, along with some Cranial Plating backup. I assume my opponent... Oh, Expedition Map. So I could name Expedition Map here. Is that a little too gotcha? No, I think that's worth it. I feel like my opponent would have played top if he had it. And I want to get this Revoker out. So let's see if that is a good stumbling block. The next turn, play an equip Cranial. Attack for a bunch. So, I suppose perhaps this might not be the best plan with the Phyrexian and the Expedition Map, because my opponent doesn't have another land. Then it's, yeah, he does, so maybe it's probably worth it. But since he brainstormed, he could have done it this turn anyway, but now he just can't go get the land he needs, so we shall see. Now the Seat of the Synod, not really what I wanted to see. Let's play the Cranial. Daze Proof, fortunately, since I have 2 mana up. Going to equip the Midnight in case of a removal spell. Now attack my opponent for 10. So yeah, glad I mulliganed that first hand. My opponent has to draw something pretty good here. Yeah, glad I named the Expedition Map. This is the only action my opponent's really played this game. Triple blue. Oh, show and tell? Okay. This isn't going to be good. Is this... Oh, okay, I don't think I can beat this card, actually. No, Tezzeret. Yeah, I actually don't think I can beat this card. I'm not playing any Infect. We'll play on. I mean, maybe he'll block. Very much doubt it. Trying to add blue. So now he can't attack me, though. Yeah, don't think there's a way out of this, really. See, this is where, like, now I wish I had the swords over the Thoughtcast, so I'm starting to think that swords is the way to go. That's useless in this situation, so I'm not going to play it. I'm trying to think, is there any way out of this? I suppose, theoretically, I could get Jite. Like, if I get Jite, and I do enough, after 4 turns I can kill this. But my opponent has all the time in the world to figure this out. We'll play to our out. Alright, Tezzeret. That's something good. That means I can maybe find the Jite. Searching for Jite. There we go. Can't play it this turn, unfortunately, but that is a start. This is only target creature, yeah. The Miser's Jite doing work. Don't care about Bajuka Bog. Because this doesn't prevent damage. This says life total can't change, right? So I think I still do damage. If I don't, I mean, obviously this plan will never work, but we're about to find out, right? That moto's kind of lagging. So Spell Pierce against the Show and Tell would actually be good. Alright, so yeah, it does do damage, so this is a win. This is a way out. We'll just keep digging for gas. We'll just take the Ancient in here. Wish I'd had that perish, but whatever. We'll just keep plussing Tez. Take the Ornithopter, but I'll not play it. Just in case my opponent does something crazy. I guess playing the Arcbound would actually be good. Maybe not. Actually, if my opponent has Emrakul, playing more permanents is probably better. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do it. Alright, this is probably not good. But my opponent hasn't done anything, so I don't really think he has anything currently. Maybe though. The second main? Alright, that's not a problem. So, swing with Ornithopter. Oh wait, yes, I do want to attack. Pay 2. So just one more combat step here. Have a backup Ornithopter in case things go horribly awry. We will +1 Tezzeret. Take another Phyrexian Revoker and name this Candle. Or Candelabra. So that my opponent does not have access to that. I just passed priority when I meant to play a land, but no big deal. The opponent has to pay 1 here. So Tezzeret really winning me this game. Here comes prime time, perhaps. Don't really care about that. Just care about getting rid of this Platinum Empyrean. Name Eldrazi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My opponent only has 8 mana and cannot untap Candelabra, so unless he has Ulamog's Crusher, we're probably all set. Let's play a land for turn. Let's attack. +1 Tezzeret. And I don't need to do this GT thing right now, so I'm not going to. Let's take an Arcbound. Don't really need 2 out, though. Oh, no, I could have won this turn. I could have gotten rid of that and then minus Tez, so that was stupid of me. Sorry about that. So if we lose this game, I apologize, but I think we'll be okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Opponent's tanking here. Yeah, I mean, if I give you an opportunity to, like, do something, it's not good. Crop rotation, sure. Getting... what? Another guard post, so now he has 1, 2... Oh, he's going to play something. 1, 2, 3... He has 8 mana. Yeah, I got the Phyrexian Revoker naming Candelabra here. Alright, let's get rid of this. Wait, what just happened? What did I give my... I gave my Ornithopter -1/-1. No! That's okay, we'll win next turn. Now that I will be smart about this. Stupid mouse. Alright, now we'll win though. So yeah, don't want to lose to misclick. Which is probably what my opponent is playing to here. Alright, there we go. Whew, what a game. I'll see you guys in the next one.